What's going on, people? Welcome to episode 1 of the United Project. And this time, we're going red. That is right. So, this is going to be a big moment. It's a team that I support on a game that I love. If you do enjoy the rebuilds, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hype up the video as much as you can and whack that sub bell on, because I am buzzing for this. I want to try and turn United into a Premier League winning side, and who knows, maybe a UCL winning side. I honestly do not know. Now, I will say I'm going to be live streaming on this as well very shortly, so that is also why I'll get that bell on, because we're going to be making tactics, we're going to be doing other things as well, and I hope to see you there. So then, Manchester United inside of FM26. Damn, it feels good to say that. Going into the facilities, we are talking about superb training facilities. Of course, a big upgrade recently. Superb youth facilities. We love to see that. Excellent academy coaching, excellent youth recruitment, pitch condition perfect. You know, it's all looking good. Corporate excellent as well. We've got it all going on. And I mean, we're a club that have won too many trophies to even count, really. I mean, 3 Champions Leagues, 20 Premier Leagues, 1 Intercontinental, 1 Cup Winners' Cup, 1 UEFA Super Cup, 1 Europa League, 13 FA Cups. I mean, the list goes on. It actually goes off the entire screen. It is that impressive. Now, recent times, let's brush over it, shall we? Since Fergie, it's not been exactly ideal, has it? And today, I'm going to try and make Amorim's system work in this game, which we have actually gone over and already made. So I'll show you that right now. Before we go over and do that, of course, budget-wise, we don't have a mad budget for Season 1, and I'm not going to sign any players anyway, because we have had quite a big window in real life regardless, and I think, to be honest, we don't really need to sign anybody else in this game. In real life, there's definitely an argument we need a couple more positions filled, but in this game, for Season 1, I will keep it as what we have in real life, so we can get a fair estimate of exactly what happens. Now, I have gone over and made an Amorim tactic. Now, it is Amorim inspired, so I'm not saying it is pure one-to-one, but it is a tactic that is coming out tomorrow on Josh Daly, and there will be a complete breakdown there. But if you are a Patreon member, of course, you get early access to it again. So if you are enjoying and you're interested in getting all of these cool perks, it does pretty much unlock everything I do. All of my FM26 tactics, rebuild files, set pieces, training, ad-free viewing, one-on-one tactical help. We just announced a £1,500 PayPal giveaway, and so much more. Make sure you go and take full advantage with the perks on Patreon in the description. Now, the tactic is obviously going to be a very unique system, both featuring the free back. I was going to do a rebuild without playing Amorim's system, and I was just like, no, it doesn't feel right, you know. Part of the whole challenge is to try and get this free back sorted, and yeah, that's what we're going to try and do. So it is actually a 3-4-2-1, and there isn't too much change in terms of the back line, but obviously the big change from in possession and out possession is this right here, go and narrow, and we have got some really good players. So let's actually, is the combined view going to be glitched? It's not going to be glitched. That's really nice to see. So let's go over and actually look at some of our players. So we are going to have Lehmann's in goal. Of course, the new man in net, been really good in real life, in my humble opinion. And I believe he's looking okay in the game. He's not exactly world class by any means, but I just hope that we don't have to replace him just because he's not good enough in the game, because in real life, I think he's actually quite a good goalkeeper from the limited amount of game time we've seen so far. I like to judge players after sort of like a whole season, to be honest. Now, the back line consists of Shaw, De Ligt, Yoro. This is filtered, by the way, by the best 11. I don't really like Luke Shaw at centre-back. Obviously, let's not forget, obviously, you know, we've got Heaven, we've got Maguire, we've got Armour, we've got players, obviously Mazraoui can play there, Martinez as well. We've got options, but obviously there are players that I think do need to come in. I'd love to sign a centre-back, and I'm sure over the next 3 episodes, including this one, not including this one, sorry, so 4 total, we will obviously solve that issue. Midfield is where a lot of people want to see a certain Baleba come in. If I can make that happen, I will attempt it. But for now, we are going to have Ugarte sitting deep. Obviously, we can also look at the likes of Casemiro, who I want gone quite quickly. Pretty much the first player I think of getting rid of when I start a United rebuild. No disrespect to him, because he actually looks quite good mentally and technically, but other than that, he's 33, high wages, he's got to go. He's got to go. Ugarte, I don't love. I don't hate. I feel like he's a player that definitely we haven't seen the best of since joining Manchester United. I feel like I'm being very polite today with my own team. Definitely not seen the best of him. And as for this man, well, get him the statue. I love him to pieces. I'd love to see him win a real big trophy at Manchester United. And hopefully today I can make that happen. I've personally got no plans to let him go. This is going to be, what, maybe a 3 to 4 year project. I'm going to let him retire at the club. I want that to happen. Unless he demands a move, I'm not going to allow him to move because I want to keep him. Wingbacks, okay. We've got Diego Dalot, probably one of the most disliked Manchester United players by the fans from what I see on social media. Of course, we can play Ahmad there, which is going to be pretty much one of our, hopefully, key projects that does work. Dorgu at left back, of course, you are also going to have Luke Shaw, who can play there. You've got Malacia. You've also got Mazraoui could play at right back and Dalot could play at left back. You've got a decent options at the back, but they're decent at best, and I don't know if they're anywhere near Premier League winning quality. So I think wing backs will be a position that I do sign in, and maybe offload Shaw, offload Malacia, something like that. But then the likes of Dorgu, I want to give the young kid a chance, you know. He's 20 years of age, but this is not a 10-year project. I've not got a decade to play with. I've got more 3 to 4 years. So we'll give him a shot, obviously, in the first season and see exactly what happens. We've then got a very exciting new-look front three. I mean, Cunha, what a goal, by the way, the other day. It was absolutely incredible. And he's a player that I think he'll kick into gear. He looks sensational in this year's game. He's got good pace, good acceleration. He's got great aggression, good dribbling, good long shots, good determination, flair, good work rate, pretty much good everything. He's a really cool player to have in the team, and you partner him with Mbeumo and he is exactly the same. Looks really young. Again, these two are very exciting players, and the great thing about them is we can obviously go out wide and then inside because they can play both to a very high pedigree. Looking at the likes of Benjamin Sesko, the one of the signers in real life that I don't think has fully shown himself yet, and I think he will. He just needs a little bit of time, and I hope he's given that time and we're patient, because I think there is a bagsman in there. We've seen it at his former club. Believe it or not, I actually did watch a lot of him because being a Leipzig man, I do like my Red Bull, and I watched a lot of him, so I know how good he actually is. But that is in the German league. We are now in the Premier League, I do have to remember. But overall, it's a decent team on paper. My expectation for Season 1 would try and get into the top 4 at bare minimum, try and see if we can get Champions League football. Now, if we have a bit of a blowout, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to rage quit the save because I'm fully aware that it's a bold tactic to play this, you know. If I went in with a 4-2-3-1, I'm pretty sure I could win the league in Season 1, but I don't want to do that. I want to be quite fun, play the system that Amorim plays, and maybe that's me being silly. But out of the first 11, Dalot is wanted. He is one of the few players wanted. Heaven is also wanted. Alte, Ahmad's wanted by Bayern Munich. Interesting. Okay, Mount is wanted by Al Ittihad. Anybody else? No one of real value. So obviously we have got players out on loan. We've got this man, Rasmus Højlund, where we are going to see what happens. Now again, this is not a realism rebuild. We're still in the beta phase, guys, so we're just sort of having some fun, rebuilding some of my favourite clubs, and yeah, we're taking it from there. Rasmus out on loan, we've got Rashford out on loan. Obviously, again, Rashford, he was sensational in the Barcelona one that we done a few days ago. Such a good player, so I might even keep him. Sancho, I just want to see him gone, so hopefully they take him. And obviously, we also have got Onana out on loan, which will be interesting. Now, when we revisit this as a club, as a rebuild, and we do realism, we are going to offload realistically, bring in realistically, but we're still in the beta period, guys, so we're just trying to do a nice, simple rebuild, see what can happen, see if we can actually win using the Amorim system. Because so far that's not been the case in real life. And yeah, you know, you've got Joshua Zirkzee injured, Martinez injured, 3 to 4 months, Mazraoui 4 weeks to 2 months, Zirkzee 3 to 6 weeks. So, but you know, we've got a few players injured right from the get-go. On the bench, obviously, you've got Alte, Heaven, Ahmad, Malacia, Kobbie Mainoo. Criminal the way he's been treated of the recent past few months. So hopefully he works his way into the team. You are going to have the likes of Cheeto, you've got Maguire, Mason Mount, who apparently is really good in this game. Anybody that can vouch for that, please let me know, because I've not seen it myself. And then obviously got Casemiro and people like that. So we have got a pretty decent team, to be honest. But obviously looking at the match day, we are playing in these competitions: Premier League, FA Cup, EFL Cup. So I'm hoping to get as close to Champions League as possible. The FA Cup, I really want to try and win at least one of these English Cups over the next few years, just to say that we've won one. And yeah, I think what we'll do now, the sensible thing, is to look at our schedule, sort of see what we're going to start with. So already I've seen Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. You know, you're playing 3 top teams inside of a couple of months there, which is not ideal. But we'll go play some of these friendlies, see how we do, hopefully come back with some good results. And yeah, this season is just about learning how bad things are at this club, and we'll build from there, because trust me, I'm not expecting perfection in season 1. Right then, so the friendlies went really, really well. It's going to be a 4-2 win over Rapid Wien. We then go over and beat FC Marchfeld 5-0 with goals from Sesko and Buomo, 2 of those, Dallo and Casemiro. We then win 5-2, 4-0, and we draw against Brest. Now, if you're wondering why the game slightly changed, I actually simmed season 1 and then didn't have an intro, so that's why the calendar is a little bit different for the friendlies, to make it very clear. But so far, we're looking at sort of 4 goals scored, 5, 5, 4, then none. We are conceding a few goals against weak teams, which might indicate real life. We can't really defend that well all the time, but we can score the occasional goal. But this time, we're scoring a bank load of goals. And, I mean, Sesko, 2 goals there, and Buomo scored 2 there. Sesko goal and Buomo 2. You've got Sesko goal, Cunha 3, Cunha 2. Yeah, we might be cooking. So let's get into our first game of the season against Arsenal. I'm quietly quite confident here. Am I mental for thinking that? And here we go. We're going to be playing Arsenal, the mighty Arsenal. Dorgu down the left-hand side, a ball in, and Cunha is going to make it 1-0 inside of 27 minutes as we go again here. Fernandes into Mbeumo, into Bruno Fernandes, back into Mbeumo, into Benjamin Sesko, and that is going to be 1-0 inside, 2-0 inside of 34 minutes, sorry. Forgot how dominant we were already starting. Cunha down the left-hand side, running at the back line. Great ball in, and Sesko is going to make it 3, and this might be a little bit of an indicator of how good this tactic is going forwards. Cunha out wide, over the top, into Sesko, direct. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. A great finish into the bottom right-hand corner. Now, we do go on to concede a goal. Trossard down the left-hand side. I mean, that bit of skill is remarkable. It's a great finish as well. I've got to give them credit, and they are fortunate enough to grab another goal. But for our debut game, we're going to take 3 points at home against Arsenal, and we hold on to a 2-goal cushion. I'll take that. And we backed it up with a 1-0 win away against Fulham with a goal from Bruno Fernandes. We then have our first game in the EFL Cup against Salford, where we are going to see goals from Mason Mount and Joshua Zirkzee, which again, I would take quite happily. And things were going all golden until, in the Premier League, we lose at home to Burnley. A goal from Broja, and it's not awful. The worrying thing is we have got Man City up next, which is going to be an interesting game. But this game against Burnley was very unique because I can't even say that we deserve to win it. Burnley really did turn up, and I've got to give them their props, you know. They turned up, they got the job done, and was it a pretty game? No, it wasn't, but fair play to them. But it's a little bit of a knock for us, you know. That early on, it's never nice to lose points to a team like Burnley. Well, I'm not really sure what's happened with the game, but the game against Man City did end 0-0, so I'll actually take that. A point away against Man City, title favourites with Liverpool. Yeah, I'll take that. Not sure what's happened here, though. And with no goal in 2 games, this was a must-stat pad game. Against Preston in the Cup, we are going to make it 1-0 with a goal from Ahmad, playing in that right-back role inside of about 25 minutes. But Preston scores, so yeah, a little bit worrying. Luckily, Bruno slots away a penalty inside of 56 minutes, and we go again here with Mazraoui into Bruno, takes on his man. That is beautiful. Goes alone, and Bruno is really coming to life this season already. And we wrap up this game 4-1. So the stat pad, it's been successful. We'll take it. Progression again. And with that stat pad, we have finally hit a little bit of form. Manchester United are back. A 3-1 win over Chelsea, and they only got a consolation goal thanks to Liam Delap. I mean, Sesko, De Ligt and Buomo absolutely firing on all cylinders. We also backed that up with a win away against Brentford, so we are completely flying. You know, teams like Brentford have challenged us in the past, and you know, Sunderland as well have challenged us in the past, but not today. These results, ever since that game against Preston, 4-1, 3-1, 1-0, 1-0, and then that happened. a 6-0 loss to Liverpool. And we're going to see exactly what happened in this game, because I can't quite believe my eyes. Talk about going from a high to a low. I know that's what football's about sometimes, but that just takes the biscuit a little bit, you know? I mean, it's a ball in from... Oh my, Florian Wirtz is performing well. I mean, we didn't have a good game. That is a scrappy goal to concede. I mean, Anfield, that's a foul. That wasn't given. Well, I don't want to say the match was rigged or anything, guys, but I mean, come on. Any danger of a referee being around here? Isaac running at the back line into Mo Salah. He's also turning up this season. Goes through, and it's so easy. The back line just fell apart, and maybe this is an indicator of what can happen when playing a top team. I mean, we got a point against City, though, so we defended quite well in that game. But in this game, we were 4-0 down in 68 minutes and made that 5-0 down in 74. Great touch from Wirtz, and, well, I think that's what Liverpool paid the money for. They're not getting it, but it's what they paid for. And Isaac finishes a penalty. How has he not saved that? What was that goal there? Can we rewatch it? I am sorry. Layman's, are you okay? We have got a possession crisis, I will be honest with you. We do bounce back in the next game against Brighton, but we have 38% possession. Now, it's been quite a familiar pattern, right, over the past sort of, you know, few games. We're not exactly always dominant on the ball, but we are winning games, and I don't mind it, but yeah, I want to have at least sort of 45% if I can pick an amount. 45 would be nice. Diego Dalot may be our hero. I never thought I'd say that as a United fan, because again, a awful performance, but Dalot pushes us through the EFL Cup, and we are flying in that competition. We beat Southampton. Dalot goal, 75th minute. It's not pretty, but we'll take it. And yeah, we sort of are going through spells at the moment, and sadly for us, you're about to see a month of utter pain. Because in the month of November 2025, you know, the month before Christmas, joy and celebration. Sack off the celebration. We lose 4-2 against Nottingham Forest away, 1-0 away against Tottenham with a goal from Brennan Johnson. Everton, we do pick up 3 points, but then when I thought, yes, we're back in form, we fall again. Crystal Palace win 1-0 from a 32-minute goal from Tyrek Mitchell. So the whole story of this season so far has been up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We simply can't get it right consistently. And we now go into December, and I'm looking at the schedule. We've got a game against West Ham, a game against Wolves, Bournemouth. Then we've got a cup game against City in the Carabao Cup, where we've been playing so well. Villa, Newcastle, Wolves. There's teams that can take points off us. If Palace can, a few of these names, they might not be as good, but they still can take points off us. Couldn't even say how important this game was for us. Against West Ham in rainy conditions, not making excuses, we do go 1-0 up inside of 18 minutes, and to be honest with you, we really needed to win this for our own confidence, and luckily we do. It's a great ball over the top into Sesko, and he is fire, and we love to see that. And, you know, to be honest with you, it wasn't perfection, because they go and score a goal, and ideally, I would have kept a clean sheet, but the game ends, you know, 2-1, it's something. After that poor run, I'll take it. And it's the same pattern. This is so bizarre. We beat West Ham 2-1, we beat Wolves 2-0, we beat Bournemouth 2-0, who, by the way, have got a very good team and manager, as we've seen in real life. But next up is going to be that EFL Cup, where so far, to be fair to us, we have beaten Southampton 1-0, we've beaten Preston 4-1, and we beat Salford 3-0. So we're not conceding many, and we're scoring. But now we play Man City, a bit of an upgrade on Preston. And that game ended 2-1 to Man City. The sad thing, we were in control of the game. We went 1-0 up, we were playing good football, and then Rangers scored to equalise, and then Nunes scored 5 minutes after. So, yeah, that run of the cup's done. As we're out of that competition now, I can comfortably show you who won it, and it actually was Liverpool who won it. Nottingham Forest got to the final, so fair play to them, but that is Liverpool. Obviously, yeah, fair play. I mean, a 7-goal final. I dread to think what would have happened if I would have played them. And what would be better than 1 negative? How about 2 negative? Because we lose to Aston Villa the following game, and this is becoming a recurring pattern. We seem to be up, down, as I keep saying, up, down, up, down. While you're down, by the way, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Yeah, it's actually quite unbelievable. Now, I'm looking at the calendar right now, and the patterns recurred again because we bounced back a 2-1 win over Newcastle. Dallo Fernandez, bounce back game. Obviously, we went 1-0 down thanks to Jolinton, but we are going to come back and put on a really, really good performance. Wolves at home, obviously lucky enough to have 2 home fixtures back to back. Again, we go a goal down, which, by the way, is not a healthy habit. But we are going to get back into it with De Ligt, Xerxes, Bruno Fernandes. Perfection. Leeds away, 4-2. Hat-trick from Sesko, who, by the way, is on fire this season. A goal from Luke Shaw, but Leeds putting 2 past us. Burnley away. Again, we don't go a goal down. We go a goal up, then they equalise. Mason Mount sent off. So that's actually quite a good game, that is, to be fair, because we managed to win it with 10 men. So that's actually something that I'm not going to critique them too much. It's not too bad. The Brentford game, it's okay. I mean, I don't think we would have dominated them too bad. I mean, what did we actually do? We had more possession, so the possession is working its way up, but we now get to play City again. The joys of that, and we are on a good run, to be honest with you. The games haven't been beautiful to watch, but to be fair, maybe a point against City. If you said to me, Josh, you can get 2 points from 2 matches against City, I might take it. I might take that offer. I'm going to be honest. Sadly, the game's doing the thing where you can't actually watch all of the goals, unless it lets me if I click on this goal here, which it doesn't, sadly. And we do win 2-1, which is really, really cool to see. And to be honest with you, it was thanks to an own goal that we took the advantage. Haaland scored in the 48th minute, and we scored in the 48th minute. So, I mean, it was a very interesting game, but we played City twice now, and we've got 4 points. In my book, that's an incredible time. We go and back it up with a win against Fulham. Now, between this lovely 2-0 win and, you know, the 2-1 win, you know, against City, which was incredible, we do lose against Arsenal. And usually I'll be a little bit annoyed, but I'm not as annoyed because we have done well in this game against City, and we have obviously won against Brentford, Burnley, Leeds, Wolves, Newcastle. What could annoy me? A draw to Tottenham, a loss to West Ham, a 4-1 loss to Chelsea, a 1-1 draw against Everton. We are not consistent. We've actually got the problem we've got in real life. We can't be consistent. Let me just... I'm going to talk about it again. We beat Newcastle, 1 win, 2 win, 3 win, 4 win, 5 win, 6 wins on the bounce with wins over Newcastle and City. 2 challenging teams. Obviously, then, we do technically, we beat Fulham, but we had this game first. So we lose against Arsenal, and then we just lose our heads in pretty much the whole month of February, apart from 3 points at home against Palace. But it's the same old story. I mean, this Chelsea game... In fact, let's actually look at the more sort of closer games. The game against Arsenal... yeah, I mean, they deserve to win that. I was going to try and make a case for myself. They deserve to win that. The Tottenham game, we deserve to win. So the performance was there. To be fair, we just couldn't get the goal. So that's a little bit easier to accept. One, I'm not even going to check the stats because when you lose 4-1, you're doing something wrong. And, you know, when your only goal's coming from a centre-back, yeah, you got some explaining to do. So, I mean, the one small positive, yay, we got, 4 points out of our last 2 games in that month. But looking into the month of March... We didn't start well either. We draw against Newcastle, which, you know what, isn't actually that bad by itself. But when you put all these results together over a couple of month period, so if you actually look at the whole month of February, we actually pick up 1 point, 2 point, 5 points in a whole month. It is not good enough at all. And the thing is, actually, this one, luckily, I say luckily, it's not luckily, I have just noticed, again, it's one thing that I really want them to make more sort of in your face. This was actually the FA Cup that we lose in 4-1. So it doesn't affect the league, but it is another trophy we are out of. And Chelsea go on to win that competition. So, to be honest with you, that's not actually horrific because I thought that was in the league initially. But... we've still lost 4-1. We've got to be fair to ourselves. We can't sit here and smile. We're Manchester United, and despite Sesko having a moment to rest, Cunha's going to dribble it past him. That is disrespectful. We are going to go 1-0 up against Aston Villa at home, and we are going to pick up 3 points in this game, which surprised me, to be honest. Martinez running at his man, and actually, I mean, that was really impressive. We'll take it. And it was a game at home that we did actually put on for the fans in quite a good fashion. And despite one negative of Sesko being injured, We'll take the 3 points. And to wrap up the month of March 2026, we lose against Bournemouth from a goal from one of the better players actually in, well, not to say the world, but in the Premier League at the moment. It's going to be Semenyo. The guy is an absolute menace. Such a good player, looks really good in this game, really high value, deserved value, and a player that, you know, I'm not saying I would never sign. Wink, wink. I'm keeping my options open. He looks really good. To be fair, the month of April 2026 is actually quite okay. I mean, we pick up a win against Leeds at home, a win against Brentford, and a point away against Chelsea. Now, this Chelsea game was a game that we played a lot better in compared to the FA Cup. Obviously, 7 shots, 3 on target, a little less possession, but better XG, more shots. We didn't get battered like we did obviously in the FA Cup game, and we are now going into sort of the last month or so of the Premier League, and I don't want to spoil it bang on, but I'll tell you something. We're bouncing between the top 6 and top 4. It's going to come down to the wire. This game right here is actually massive because they are being a competitor for us actually in the league. And to get a point here is actually what we needed. And as long as we go on to beat Sunderland in the next game, then we don't have to rely on luck to get in the top 4. And after getting a point here against Liverpool, beating Brentford, beating Leeds, surely things can't go wrong, right? Well, what if I told you we lost 3-1? Solanke, 49 minutes. We got a goal in the 51st minute, a goal in the 61st minute, and Sesko does get a goal in the 63rd minute, but we lose 3-1. And this now means that we have to rely on luck to get inside of the top 4. Something that I hate because you can't control luck. We do have 2 games left, and to be fair, we took advantage of one of them, a 4-2 win over Forest and a point against Brighton, but you now can look at the whole calendar all in one and see exactly what this season has been. And my word to describe it is inconsistency. Now, the great thing about these sort of rebuilds is that we are constantly changing the tactic to get to the final product. So when this is ready to be a video on the main channel, that will be the final one. And that's one positive because we can actually learn the game quite well. We started off so hot, didn't we? Really, really hot. Even the loss against Burnley was somewhat accepted because we'd done a really good pre-season, good points against Arsenal, Fulham, through in the cup, a good run here, a bad run here, good run here, you know, bad run here. And then the bad run, pretty much, to be honest with you, from really the 24th of January downwards, there isn't much to cheer about because the wins from the 24th was against Fulham, Palace, Villa, Leeds, Brentford, and Forest. Teams that we probably should be beating. And you look at the teams that we didn't beat, and yeah, this might be why we've not won anything. As obviously we don't win the FA Cup because we got knocked out of that against Chelsea in 4-1 fashion. The Carabao Cup, if you don't remember, but City knocked us out. So yeah, top 4 has to be done, and we're going to see if we've done it. We have done it, but look at that league table. That is why you do not mess about with some of these fixtures, because we get in, but we are tied on points with Arsenal. City blitzed the league, by the way, 17-point advantage, so they are the team to sort of try and reach. Arsenal, United, all on the same points. Liverpool are in there. Tottenham only 4 points off us, literally 3 points off the top 4. Bournemouth not far behind. The teams going down: Burnley, Fulham, and Wolves. You've got Chelsea in 11th, Newcastle in 12th, Brighton in 15th. You know, looking at some of these positions of teams, how we didn't beat some of them, I do not know. Man City, though, they were simply flawless. They definitely set the benchmark for the season, obviously being ran by arguably the best manager to ever manage in football. Don't like saying that, but it's a pretty common opinion. Their calendar is looking very, very nice. I mean, 8-1 against Burnley. They're in a UCL final against Arsenal. You know, they've been absolutely on it from the get-go. And I'm not a bitter person. At the end of the day, if someone's played better than me, I'm going to run up to it and say it. You know, this tactic is in its first evolution. We're still learning exactly what its weaknesses are, what its positives are, building up from there, trying to get the most out of it. And in terms of player performance, we'll go and look at the squad right now, of course, together. we can sort of see what's gone on. So firstly, contract-wise, if we actually filter by this, we are going to have some players. I usually worry about a year ahead and that's it. So Jadon Sancho can go, Sam can go, Alte no, go. Tyrone Malacia, old transfer list, Dermot, Reece, Tyler, Victor, they could all go for all that I care. I'm not too fussed, to be honest with you. Now, in terms of performance, what we're really here for. So if we actually look at the goals first, we have got Sesko with 19. Very interesting. Rasmus Højlund out on loan, 11. He actually had a really, really good season. Now, the question is, where did Napoli finish? Can we actually see? Second in the league. So they had a great season, to be fair to them. I imagine Rasmus obviously was part of their success because he scored 11 goals. Bruno 10 and 6, and Buomo 5 and 5. Issue already noted. We don't have enough goals from enough players. So when you've got someone like Sesko, who is scoring 19 goals, when you take him away from the team, we saw that he got injured, maybe, there's whatever happens, injuries, out of form, whatever you want to say, that's where the goals are going. We don't have enough goal scorers in the team. So we need to make the tactic a little bit more attacking, potentially. And that's quite easily done. Obviously, if we look at the tactic itself, we could actually go attacking with the mentality. We're actually quite defensively structured in terms of, you look at all instructions, you go to out of possession, with mid-block in it, we've got a standard line, we can push up a lot more, and maybe that's what we have to do. By the way, if anyone's wondering how I'm clicking through the menu so quickly, check FM Scout from a couple of days ago. I've got you covered. There's a little mod you can do. Assist-wise, not bad, not great. I think the overall word that I'd use to describe this is not bad, not great. Well, it's multiple words, but rating-wise, Rashford's is our best player, technically. Obviously, he was out on loan. But also, you've got to factor in appearances, right? So, Luke Shaw is actually our best average-rated player. He enjoyed quite a good season, to be fair, which is a little bit alarming because I said I wanted to sell him. But, looking at this team on paper, of course, first of all, we've got 92 million, so we can go and spend money going into the next season, and we will do that window. Don't worry, that is going to happen next video. But I think on paper, if we filter by the best 11, for example, and go and have a little look right now, it's not bugged. That's good to see. Go on to the both combined view, or the both view, should I say. We have got, obviously, Lehmann's in goal. Here's a worry, because he's good in real life. Is he good enough in the game? I honestly don't know. De Ligt, Yoro, Shaw, Maguire, Martinez, I want to sell and bring someone else in. Dorgu might bring in a left back. Dallo might bring in a right back. DM might get Belabor. The front line, I think I'm going to keep for now because they are impressing me in terms of, I think, stat-wise, maybe not. Sesko is, but I think we can extract more from Cunha, from Mbuemo, even Fernandes, we can get more. This tactic is a new project at the end of the day. Mason Mount didn't really turn up. Not funny, but he is injured. Constant injuries. And there are players we are going to sell. I don't really want to spoil too much of what happens next episode, so got to keep the mouth shut. But obviously players that we are going to welcome back next year do include Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and also Andre Onana. And these are players that, to be honest with you, I think, unless the game's realistic, and for example, like in our Barcelona save, Rashford was 30 million, they might just pop that and make it happen. If that happens, we will sell him. But if it doesn't, again, this is not a realism rebuild. This is purely a rebuild for my enjoyment and hopefully your enjoyment as well. Now, when we actually look at some of the stats of this season, the Data Hub explains it really, really well, right? Because, and you'll see it in future episodes, we do improve this, don't worry. Hence why this is not a tactic video yet, because it's simply not good enough. 1.3 goals a game, 0.9 conceded. Every game you're playing is like a nail biter. You can't play football like that. It is painful for the fans. It's painful for everybody. Have they got stats on this yet? Not really in terms of numbers. It's a little bit sort of mental at the moment, but when that becomes workable, we can see that, we will look at it. But I mean, to be honest with you, we have got these tabs here, which a lot of people forget you can look at. You can get quite technical. So I don't know. I'm just going to say my piece here about this game. I want to know what you think of the game in the comments, but I think it's got potential. I don't think it's perfect. I think there's some things about the game that do need to improve, but I don't hate it, and I want to get your feedback in the comments as well. But that is going to be episode 1 of this Manchester United rebuild done. Obviously trophyless, we are in the Champions League, so come back tomorrow where we fight in the Champions League, try and win the Premier League, and take on another season with a new man, who I'm not going to tell you who it is. Try and guess. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.